Hello and welcome to the 110th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by our host, Jordan.
That's me, baby. That's him. That's me.
That's Jordan. This is me.
If you can't see what we're doing, that's Chris. This is me.
Exactly. So, Jordan.
Yes.
Jordan, if I was to listen to this podcast in like an audio form, like what native podcast apps can I find this?
Just kind of going off the top of my head, no previous source material or anything.
No,
I would
never.
say you could possibly find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed, which is linked below. Put it into whatever app you want. And on YouTube, of course, where we have the video platform. We also have that video on Spotify because they support video. And you can also reach out to us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me, or Instagram and TikTok, where we post shorts. I am locked out of the Instagram at the moment because somehow they email our Proton Mail email saying like, hey, update to your Instagram, and then you do a reset and you put that email in and it goes, no account found. So I don't fucking know what's going on. But
That's
anyway,
bizarre.
check us out there. And yeah, give us your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. And now, Chris, we mentioned at the beginning how, you're Chris, I'm Jordan. And like, you're Chris and I'm Jordan. And like
Something
how
like
sometimes
that, yeah.
you can see that you're Chris and I'm Jordan, but other times you can only hear that you're
on
Chris
occasion,
and I'm Jordan.
yeah.
Yeah. So that brings me to something that came up in the workplace.
He's really interested in your camera bag.
I know. He's going to just squeeze in there. I'm going to pick up wow, it's a fucking heavy bag, dude. And he's just going to be folded in there.
There's a big chunk in here.
But this brings me to something that was mentioned at work by one of our greatest supporters, the elderly man. And he brought something to my attention that just didn't necessarily click at the time, that I was like, oh, I should probably say something on the record about this. There's a clip at the start of last episode where we were a little drunk, and I did an edit to the video in the very beginning.
Dude, I thought that was funny.
No. So it was definitely funny, but here's the point he brought up, and I went, you are 110% correct. When I make this edit, so for context, this podcast has a video platform, and I upload the MP4 to both platforms. So I'm editing a video when this goes up.
I see the discrepancy now.
And in the video, what happens is Chris mentions something about a gentleman of African-American descent. That's his wording exactly, because we were making a joke. And I go, and I pretend to say the N-word. Now, I'll put the clip here for you to hear.
The baby song,
I don't know, actually.
Turn a gentleman of African-American descent into a convertible. I'm not going to say the N-word.
But in the full clip, unedited, I'd go, I'm not that drunk, I'm not going to say that. This clip, here.
The baby song,
I don't know, actually.
Turn a gentleman of African-American descent into a convertible. I'm not going to say the N-word.
No, I'm not that drunk.
Jordan loves saying the N-word.
I don't.
He says it so much.
Yes, I really do.
Most of these episodes, we have to, every time we cut, because Jordan cannot stop saying the
Good
N-word.
news, we don't cut often.
Jordan,
Actually, I think the last time we cut was because I doxed our boss by accident.
Now, the discrepancy came in with, on the video platform, I say that, I go, and I cut it, and I do like a TV, like, kind of cancel channel, fucking blue and purple, all those colors that the TV does, like when a channel goes like beep, and then switches, right? But in the audio, that translates to just a sensor.
Yeah, I see it now.
He goes, did you say that? Or did you, because he referred to it as a sensor, and I was like, I didn't do a sensor. And then I realized, because what happened was I said that like first syllable, and then I did that edit, and then I cut the remainder of that clip, so it just jumps to like the continued version of that conversation. So it sounds like I censored myself, but I didn't actually say it, as you can see in the full clip or hear in the full clip. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay.
Because in the audio, it did not translate as well as it did in the video.
Yeah, well, I don't do it. I haven't done a ton of audio editing, but I know you can get it to be very seamless.
Yeah.
You don't notice cuts nearly as well in audio than you do in video, because obviously there's no
stutter
visual
or like
component. Yeah. That's why I thought it was really funny, and I didn't think of it other than that. I thought it was really funny in video form. I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh, and for the video, as you saw, if you were listening still when I played those two clips, I did like a zoom in on my face as I'm like, and I'm making like a wide-eyed expression. That was the whole joke. But again, to audio, that did not translate well. And he mentioned that to me, and I went, That's a really good point, because I don't listen to the audio. I watch the video and audio together.
That is an excellent point.
So thank you.
We'll just have to be more careful in the future is all.
Yeah, so thank you to him for that. I appreciate you bringing it up, and I hope that sets the record straight. I really don't want to have to cut it. I can cut it from YouTube super easy, but that's not where it's the problem. It's the problem in the audio, which would require me to pull the video or the podcast and re-upload it. And one of the biggest things about this podcast that I like the most out of everything is that we have never, ever, knock on fucking wood, missed an upload. And I refuse to have the date be off because I had to pull it for that. So I figured I'd just set the record straight.
That's fair.
Just get that out of the way at the start. But Chris, housekeeping aside, what have you been up to?
Man, I just want to address this as well.
He's actually racist. That's
yeah. I have my clan robes I want to show off here.
Check these out, dude. They have Hello Kitty on.
I just want to address. We're both. I feel like playing at 70% today.
Oh yeah.
At most.
Good point.
At most. Jordan, I don't know what's up with you. I don't know what your problem is.
You want me to go first, or
you can explain first.
So I had D&D last night after work. So I got there about 6:30 p.m. I left at about 1 a.m. And I was like, I do this every couple weeks. It usually lines up with the podcast because I prefer to have the busy weekend all together. And I'm like, all right, cool. I usually get home, and I've got this like mental clock and like physical ability where I'm like, I don't even feel sleep deprived the next day. So I was like, I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna be ready for this podcast. And I woke up, and I'm like, fuck, I don't feel ready for this podcast. But it's really dark in here. And I look, and it's 3 a.m., and I'm like, oh, I'm chilling. I've been asleep for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm chilling. Oh, I'm not chilling. Something don't feel right. I go to the bathroom, and I've been throwing up since 3 a.m. and shitting my brains out since 3 a.m. Up until I went from like 3 to 4, just fucking vomiting and shitting. Then I got up again at 6 and went until 7:30, doing the same thing, and then went back to bed until 8:30, and then Oscar threw up too. So
he didn't want to feel left out.
Yeah, no, he actually can't eat dry food anymore. I think he might be dying actually.
Nice.
I have a hunch because he can't eat his dry food anymore. He throws it up immediately. So he switched to wet food only, and he's fine with that.
He's a bougie cat.
He's fucking bougie now. He's like, you know what?
What brand do you buy? You give him like some Fancy Feast?
Yeah, so the dry food was the shit, but it was literally shit. But I got him a Fancy Feast. I was like, you know what, man? If you are dying, let's make this a good one.
He's in his elder years now, so you gotta treat him right.
Yeah, he heard about the queen dying. He was like, bitch, I'm the queen. I'm like, Oscar, you're a cat. He's like, nah. I'm a queen. No. I'm like, you don't even know what a queen is. You're a fucking cat, dude.
You literally do not have the concept. You don't understand the concept of a monarchy. You don't.
And he's like, no. I've hunted monarch butterflies. I'm like, no, you're a cat.
No, dude, you literally don't understand the construct of having a leader. You're literally a feline, and he just refused to accept it
because he doesn't like leaders. But yeah, so I've just been sick. I'm honestly better now. I like forced myself to blow it out before I came because I was like, we have a lot to do today. I got to try to just get this shit out. Because there's no worse feeling than basically knowing what caused it. It's what I ate yesterday. So I'll tell briefly the shade story later in the episode. But after like what I ate at work, Alex from the podcast gave me a Big Mac and nuggets at work. I ate the nuggets at work, ate the Big Mac at home before D&D. And then a bunch of shit. So.
By the way, before he gave that food to you, he was like, getting it all together, and he goes, I guess I'm gonna go give this to Jordan, the fucking whore. He was really laying into you for no reason.
It's probably because the shake story, dude. Probably because the fucking shake I made, he's pissed about that. But so I ate that Big Mac, went to D&D, and then at their house I had spicy Italian sausage, regular Italian sausage, and then I had goldfish and fucking salt and vinegar chips.
So is it the sausage that did you in?
I think it's the sausage that did me. I bit into one, and there was one like 1/4-inch thick piece of it that I was like, that tasted raw. I'm good. I'm chilling.
Oh,
and I think I'd fucking died from it. So.
Sausages are kind of difficult, like the Italian sausages, because you have to cook them like in a little bit of water so that they get to temperature, and then you can kind of put them on the pan. If you just put them on the pan, they're not gonna cook.
Yeah. It was like literally, the sausage was say like a 5 or 6 inch Italian sausage, and like I was biting it. I'm like, yeah, this is good. And then like the last little bit, I was like, that was a little mush. I was like, that didn't feel like totally smushed together.
Yeah.
It felt like it kind of fell apart. And then, yeah, I've just been dying ever since. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so...
Yeah.
I feel like Alex is always the downfall. He always leads to my downfall.
Generally speaking, anything associated with him is usually on the downward trend.
Yeah, so he made the suggestion earlier this week. So you know what? You know what I feel like doing? He goes, I feel like getting drunk with my boys on Discord this weekend. I'm like, okay. I'm down with that. I don't think I'm doing anything Friday night, so that's, I'm down with that. And, he brought it up again yesterday. And I was like,
Which was Friday night.
Which was Friday. I was like, yeah, easy. Why not?
Clap, baby.
We'll just, we'll have some drinks. We'll jump on Red Dead Online because I think it would be really fun to play. And, every time I feel like I blame Alex for bringing me into these situations, but it's ultimately my own fault because I drank very heavily.
Yep.
I bought a bottle of ginger, like the Viking mead. You'll see it at the liquor store. It comes in like a stoneware bottle. I'm not gonna go get it right now. I don't feel like getting up.
Yeah.
But that's like 19%. I think I drank like half of that. And then I didn't feel like cleaning anything. I only cleaned the one glass. It's like, okay, I'm not going to bother cleaning anything else. I'm just going to, instead of doing shots of whiskey, I'm just going to start pouring whiskey into this glass. So I started drinking like that. And I think that was the ruination.
Yeah, that was
because
the real downfall.
Every time we would start a mission, I would go, what real cowboys did before they start a mission? They would have a shot of whiskey, and I would drink like probably like a double shot at the very least.
Oh, shit. Was it the Wild Turkey?
Yeah.
The handle you have, yeah, nice.
It's the Wild Turkey 101. So, I woke up slightly hungover, which is surprising because...
The first.
Yeah, I don't know. I just figured this was like an immunity that I had. I just was like, I'm just never gonna get hungover.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a headache. I'm fine now.
Just a little disoriented
but I'm just
when
like,
you woke up.
Yeah, I'm just like a little, like I said, I'm not running on all 8 today. I'm
just a little spacious.
I got a misfire going.
You're ready to turn into like a 7 or a 6.
I'm at like 6.35 cylinders at the moment.
Just like them gold bars, baby. 6.356. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it do be like that though.
So I do want to talk about Red Dead Online.
Yeah, I think it's a good transition. Yeah.
Red Dead Online. It sucks. It's
so barren now.
It's fun as shit to play with friends, but it doesn't have the same magic as GTA Online.
Right.
I feel like the world of GTA translates to online a lot better because that game's not as serious. So the side characters that you meet up with
are fucking goofy.
Yeah. It's like they're, silly little guys.
They're like parodies of characters in real life, pretty much. Or like stereotypes.
But Red Dead 2 is like an incredibly serious and like, a compelling game. So it doesn't translate as well, I think. You do meet some wacky characters.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the missions are all kind of the same thing. Just go to a place, shoot some guys, get an outlaw, bring them back. Go to a place, shoot some guys, get an outlaw, bring them back.
Yeah.
It's...
Wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, but it's fun to play with friends. Because even when you're in a posse together, you can group up as a posse. And even when you're in a posse together, you can run each other over on horses. And you can lasso each other. But you can't, like, shoot each other or anything. So, I found out that I could lasso people first. And Alex and I were, because you can emote as well. Mm-hmm. Alex did an emote where he spit at me. his character spit at me. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna lasso him. You can't hog tie players, but you can lasso them. So I'm just gonna lasso him, and I'm right at a train station, so I'm gonna drag him because I hear the train coming. I'm gonna drag him onto the train tracks. I backed up, and the train was a little closer than I had anticipated. I backed up directly in front of the train.
Was he on the other side, or was he with you?
No, he was on the other side. I was the only one who died. So that was actually the second train incident. The first one was at that same train station, like a few minutes earlier, where I was I saw a guy, I just didn't like the cut of his jib, so I shot him. And this other guy, he was a witness to my murder.
And he tried to be a snitch.
Yeah. So, and Alex comes in and he goes, hang on, the cat's eating a Velcro tie right now.
Dumb cat. He was sleeping the whole time, no problem.
He was just chilling.
Now he's being bitch.
This fucking cat, he just eats anything. He's looking at it. What? No, you can't have it back. So, guy was about to go tell the sheriff that I had murdered someone. Of that. And Alex goes, hang on, I got this. And he rides in on his horse, hits the guy. The guy falls forward onto the train tracks and gets hit by a train. So there was some chicanery, like, right off the bat. It's really fun with you. What? Can you stop eating things? It's paper. Stop.
That was the second train chicanery.
So we had some just some train incidents was all, and we did some missions. All in all, a good time.
Yeah. When it first came out, it came out in beta first. I played it with my brother. And it was a pretty good time. It was definitely a lot buggier back then, but what was always fun was, like, having them jump off a bridge and then lassoing them, and then they fucking swing under the bridge, and then eventually the lasso fucking releases and they go flying down.
I'll have to try that.
That was always pretty cool.
What I did try to set up was, if I lasso someone, can someone lasso me, and we can get a chain going? That doesn't work.
Yeah. Because as soon as you drop it, yeah. I've always thought that Red Dead Online could use like a Skate 3 like set spawn point or set marker for like custom games. Like if you could set a marker on top of a mountain and then just like push each other off the mountain, and then you could just hit a button and spawn back up at the top. Because that's what me and my brother did too. Is the fist fighting was pretty cool. It's not as solid as single player because of obviously latency, but like we'd always like go up on a mountain. We'd be like hunting up there, and then I would just like run at them. And if you hit the attack button, you tackle them, and I'd tackle them down a fucking cliff, and we would just be like boom, 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 just going ass over a tea kettle, dude.
So, yeah,
flying. It's great.
The thing as well that I think is a problem with this started with GTA Online, and now it's transferred over to Red Dead Online in a worse form, is how microtransaction heavy everything is.
Yeah, and the barrier to entry as well.
So
because of that,
you make money at like a snail's pace, but you can buy gold bars.
Yeah, and
you can unlock everything with gold bars. So it's ridiculous. It's the same thing that happens in GTA Online. It's like, oh, I did a mission that gave me, $15,000. What can I get with that?
Shirts are like $3,000.
Yeah, as if that. Like sometimes shirts and outfits are like 20 or 30 grand.
Yeah.
So like what can you even do? And if you want to get any of the cool stuff, you have to either play those missions over and over and over and over again for like hundreds of hours, or you just have to buy GTA currency.
Yeah.
So
which also didn't scale proportionally to the game now.
Well, yeah.
So $100 that gave you $1 million back then, that was like, what? $100? That's worth it. That's nothing in the game.
Yeah, it's nothing now. Like the $100 card, which gives you like 8 million in-game dollars. There's a lot of shit that's like 10 or 12 or 20 million
So
dollars.
they're paying over $100 for that one jet.
For like if you want like a yacht, they start at like $10 million.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous.
It's fucking crazy. Wonder if they'll introduce NFTs at some point. Probably.
I mean, I feel like they can't sink much lower, you know.
Yeah.
What I think is peak Rockstar Online game was Red Dead 1 Online.
Oh yeah. That was
Because
incredible.
like GTA 4 Online was pretty good, where it wasn't like you didn't have a set character or like a set level or anything or a set amount of money.
You were just fucking around in a
You
sandbox.
could just pick up guns and like fuck around in sandbox and like you can turn off wanted levels too.
Yeah.
So you could just fly around in a helicopter, shoot places, shoot people up. It was a really good time. And then Red Dead 1 Online kind of picked up from there where I think you could still turn off wanted levels.
I believe so. But you actually had a character in levels.
But you actually had a character which didn't have a set model. You could change the model around.
Yeah. You'd have like 40 John Marstons.
Yeah, I think I played as Uncle for a majority of my time.
Oh, did you? I always played as Zombie John Marston from Undead Nightmare.
And you would have a set level as well. And there was no money, if I remember correctly. When you hit a specific level, you would just unlock something, and it would just give it to you.
Yeah.
So it's
and like ammo was found in crates and shit. You didn't buy it or anything.
Yeah, it was like if you
died, it came back.
If you had if you hit like level 20, and level 20 was the unlock for like dynamite, they would just give you dynamite.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, you're level 20 now.
You can buy dynamite.
Buy dynamite. You can buy dynamite, but it's $900 a stick. That's 900 real dollars, not in-game dollars.
Yep.
Like I probably get real dynamite for less money.
Yeah. So yeah, Red Dead Online for the first game was fucking awesome.
That was
and
crazy.
Team Deathmatch and shit was sick. It still is in Red Dead 2 as well. The Team Deathmatch and all that's pretty
I haven't
sick.
played any of the game modes in Red Dead 2. I'd just done a couple of missions.
They have this one really cool one that's like a manhunt kind of esque thing where like there's like one person with a tomahawk and throwing knives, or like throwing tomahawks and a hatchet, and they like chase you around like different maps. So like Strawberry is one of them or whatever, and you just have to fucking run, and they'll like melee you, and I think it has like not the physics but like impact turned up or something, so you'd be like running and you get sideswiped by a dude with a tomahawk and you just go fucking flying. Oh, it's so cool. They had some cool shit because the gunplay is so fun in that game.
Yeah,
it really is.
And in Red Dead 1 Online, they had I think they had Undead Nightmare specific modes.
They had wave survival.
Yeah, you had wave survival. I didn't play a ton of the game modes. I played a lot of just a lot of free roam, and there was a specific area that was like there was a glitch where it was up in the mountains, and if you ran in circles in this area, every every 10 circles, every 10 laps or so is a very short area, a bear would spawn.
Mm.
And there was no limit to this. You could spawn like 6 or 8 bears. And I would do this with my friends. We would go up to this area, we would run in circles, we would do laps, and we would get out our knives. And like throwing knives or like the regular knife or like tomahawks or something, and we would run in circles and spawn all these bears, and then we would stop at some point and we would just start knife fighting the bears, and then we would continue running, we would stop, we would fight the bears, and then continue running, and that was a good time.
Yeah,
that was a good time. So,
yeah, it was pretty cool. Red Dead Online for the first game was really cool, and now the new one's cool, but yeah.
It is. I had a great time playing it. I'll probably play it again with friends, but, it's not something I can see myself sinking as much time into as I did with GTA Online.
I'm still just upset that, like, I was gearing up. I was ready to do my Red Dead 2 playthrough on the Steam Deck, and then they updated it the other day, and we're like, we're just going to break it on the Steam Deck.
It doesn't work anymore?
No.
Nice.
It, I forget what they fucking added. They added some sort of dumb bullshit to the launcher, and now it doesn't work. But some people found workarounds and stuff that I could try, but it's like, the game just worked before. Like,
how did you add something in a way that broke the game?
Like, ugh, fucking hate them. But, yeah, it's fucking awesome, though. I love Red Dead. The universe, the characters, the games themselves. So good. Hope we get a third one eventually. Oh, I say hope we get a third one. Tencent, the parent company of Rockstar, did say, hey, we're making more stuff in this universe. That doesn't mean it's Red Dead 3, though, because Red Dead Revolver was also in that universe, but isn't anything like the other two, so.
I mean, they don't necessarily have to do
a third Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, like another game with like John Marston and Dutch Van der
I want to see a different game altogether. Yeah. It also doesn't have to be Redemption. Just make me evil.
They could do something in universe that's, not tied to that specific game.
What they should do is they should make a Red Dead version because it's always been about redemption. That's the whole name of it, right? So like John Marston's redemption, Arthur Morgan's redemption, but like. Just give me a game where I play as, like, the Micah equivalent, but not as annoying.
Red Dead Damnation.
Yeah, I think we had talked about that before, about like that being fucking awesome.
It's like GTA, where you're never playing as the same people, but it's the same world that you're playing in. Like, in the games, there's references to the previous games.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, I think it's GTA Online that has a mission that directly references Nico from GTA 4 and all the shit you did in that city. Yeah,
there is.
There's also a reference in Spider-Man to Nico, so that's funny.
Damn.
There's a side mission where you're trying to hunt down these robbers, and there's a guy. His name's. Oh, it just says Russian mobster, and it's literally. It's Nico. Like, he's like, oh, cousin Roman and I are going to go bowling or whatever.
Bowling.
It's fucking awesome. I was like, that's a cool reference. I love GTA 4. I'm replaying it on the Steam Deck. When I eventually get mine back.
Yeah, what happened, Jordan?
So, I caused this problem. So,
yeah.
There's a known issue with the Steam Deck, specifically like 99% on the higher end model with the anti-glare display because of the adhesive not curing. Now this adhesive is UV cured. So my batch was like the batch that started this quality issue. Like the week I ordered mine, the people who got it just before me were like, hey, mine has this issue. And someone had, reached out to Valve and found out, that it was UV cured and all that. And they were like, hey, anyone with this model should put their Steam Deck in the sun for a little bit just to make sure it's cured. Just leave it in the sun. And I was like, hell yeah. Good idea. Thank you. You know what I never did in the last 3 months?
Leave it in the sun.
Leave it in the sun.
Well, it never occurs to me to, like, find time to put my electronic devices directly under the biggest heat source in the solar system.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I try my best to keep my electronics away from heat.
Right. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. Then the other day, I think I was playing something, and I happened to like tilt the Steam Deck, and I noticed like there was a line I've noticed since day one. Like literally, it looked like someone took the actual display panel without glass.
You were showing me this.
And like scratched it with their nail, and I was like, yeah, that's not a big deal to me. I don't give a shit about that. And then I noticed all around that line, underneath it, started to have a big air pocket, and I went,
oh boy,
oh fuck, this is that. So I reached out to Valve. They were like, hey, try alcohol, like isopropyl alcohol, because we've seen this and it smudges. And they were like, if not, you can RMA it. So I cleaned it a bunch, didn't fix it. I stuck it in the sun. I'm like, let me just see if it helps. It didn't help, but I was really contemplating, like, do I just live with this? Because like it's not noticeable in use. I can only see it if I just put it in the right angle. So if it's in the sun, maybe it's cured for the time being. It'll be fine. It won't get any worse. And then I was at work, and I'm really contemplating. I'm like, could buy a new screen for $70, could send it in for free, but not have it for 3+ weeks. But I did pay $700, so maybe I should send it in for free. Like, doing this whole contemplative thing, and then I showed our boss. And then as I went to show him, I happened to notice that the entire left-hand side of the screen was peeling up as well.
Bruh.
And I looked at our boss, I was like, what do you think? Never mind, I'm sending it in. And I just put it back. And he was like, what? And I showed him, and he goes, oh, yeah, that's bad. And then the elderly man was like, you should definitely send that in.
Yeah, I would, I would agree.
So I was, I'm a bit upset. I'm deckless at the moment. So I've been forced to fall back on other hardware.
This is the lesson, boys. Be cheap.
Yep.
Because I bought the cheapest one. The cheapest one didn't have that issue.
But I can't. Can you believe, right, guys? I want just fucking drop a heart in the comment for my pity, because I don't have my deck anymore, so I have to use my fucking garbage-ass $3,000 gaming PC. It's so annoying.
Bro, honestly.
Can't stand it. I wish I had more privileges in life, man. I'm just like, my life is ruined
Or
at
you
this
might
point.
have to use your PlayStation 5.
Dude, I might have to use that console that no one who wants it can even get at the moment that I just have. Like, oh my god, bro, don't even remind me. No, but I've been, what I did, right, is that because you have to factory reset it to send it in, so I moved everything to the SD card, which took forever. Dude, I downloaded Red Dead 2 in 46 minutes. I transferred it to the SD card in 3 hours and 28 minutes.
So it would have been faster to just delete it and reinstall it on the SD card.
Yes.
Nice.
So I transferred everything over to the SD card. I have like 90 gigs left on that 1 terabyte SD card. Formatted the device, but before I did that, I synced all my cloud saves, and then I just continued Hellblade and Life is Strange 2 on my PC, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. Because just before I got rid of the Steam Deck, I was like, I realized that the whole cloud save thing was like a thing that Steam does, and I was like, let me take advantage of this. It's fucking sick, dude. It's so sick just being like, I'm playing Life is Strange on my PC, but I don't want to be at my PC. Sync, go to bed, play it on the Steam Deck, all set.
Yeah, and they, as far as I know, they don't clear out your saves.
So there is a cap on it, but it's like huge. It's like 500 gigabytes of just save files.
And it's like so they'll clear it out at that point, but like, if you play games like a normal adult plays games, like if you have a job and you're playing games around that, you know, you're not going to run out of room.
No.
So it doesn't really clear out your save files. So I have, like when I did my Witcher playthrough earlier this year, I loaded into my save file from like, 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
When I played it in like 2017.
Yeah, so it's fucking sick, and it's awesome being able to go between the Steam Deck and the computer and all that. So that helped, because I was able to pick up where I left off on Life is Strange 2. Finally beat that. It was okay. But yeah, when I get it back, I can't wait. It's not even there yet. Like, I sent it out on Monday this week. It's going to be there Monday next week. So.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, not even there.
Continuing the Jordan trend of, buying an electronic device and having it immediately break.
Listen, this time it took 2 months, all right?
It seems to be a common thing for you.
I'm getting better. Yeah, honestly, if I had just done what Reddit, the people on Reddit who actually know what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah, so if you just followed basic instructions, you could do it?
Yeah, the people who have experience with this kind of thing gave advice, and I chose to ignore it.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I, on occasion have a lot of trouble following basic instructions myself. So.
Yeah, we have talked about this, where you do tend to struggle with that. But yeah, note to self, if it seems, if you can get on board with the advice and it sounds sound, maybe try it.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting.
Or you can just wait until it's a really big problem that the simple solution won't fix. And then you have to go to a much more complicated method. Yeah.
Oh, did you actually see... Hang on, shout out to Valve. I gotta give them a shout out, though. Did you see they opened up their repair centers?
Oh, really? They have third-party people or like licensed people?
It's like them. It's like their repair centers straight from Valve. And I don't know if I read the headline correct, but like this is like pretty much word for word what it said. And the implication is pretty crazy. It says, our repair centers are open for all your warranty repairs. And then it says, and you can fill out this form if it's not under warranty to see if you can get a free repair. So they're just willing to like repair the thing on like a first come first serve basis if it's not a warranty fits for free, it seems.
Pretty interesting.
Which was weird. I was just like, that's pretty sick. It's pretty fucking sick. So yeah, hopefully I get my Steam Deck back because it doesn't have any of the other known quality issues, which was a plus. And I have a skin on it that I'd have to reapply, which I'm not gonna do. And also, they did say if we can't do this in a timely manner, you're just gonna get a whole new one. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure, cool.
You're not gonna have to reapply your deck skin.
Yeah,
it's gonna get circumcised.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna circumcise my deck. So if I end up getting the same Steam Deck back, I'll have the skin. If I don't, I'm not buying another one. So. Because it's an expensive skin. I have the front, but I won't have the back. But that's my Steam Deck woes. It's been a tough life recently.
Man, sounds like it sucks to be you.
It does.
You know who else it sucks to be? Me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
My my classes have started back up. Because
gross.
last time we recorded, which was 38 years ago.
It was.
It was like genuinely almost a month ago.
It was like, was it August?
19th or something?
Yeah.
And it's November. It's September 10th.
November. It was almost a month ago.
If it was November, If it was November, I would be terrified that I was losing time. But
I'm like, Chris, tomorrow's Christmas, right?
Oh fuck.
Shit.
But yeah, classes started up. When we last recorded, I didn't have classes started up, so now I do.
Yeah.
I can tell you this right now. There's a major at my university. It's like media something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing now, because I'm taking a class that belongs to that major as an elective.
That's your editing class.
That's my editing class. And I realize now, I should have done that major.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time in editing class. Despite the fact the professor kind of, because I'm a computer science student, so I know how computers work.
Right.
Maybe that's not the case with the media students. Because my professor had spent almost an entire class doing a demo on how a computer functions. So the stations we have at the media lab or whatever it's called is they're the trash can Mac Pros, the gray ones. I feel like those got a lot of flack, but they're actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like them. So we have that. We have those, and it's dead simple. There's the back side, which has a strip about yay big, and it has all your I/O and your power button. Couldn't be more simple. This guy, he pulls up a graphic, just a picture of the back of the machine, and then he starts pointing out different ports and what they're supposed to do. And this is how I knew I was this is how I knew I wasn't really in class with very high caliber people, because a majority of these stations have Bluetooth Mac keyboards. But there's a section that has all wired Mac keyboards. And the Bluetooth keyboards are passed out on a per machine basis so people don't walk off with them.
Right.
You have to turn in your ID, and then they give you the keyboard, and then you use it, and then you turn the keyboard back in and get your ID. So you don't take off with the keyboard, because they're like $130 or $150 or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're pretty expensive.
But I was in a section with wired keyboards. Okay, the guy next to me has a wired keyboard, and my professor is explaining is if you have a Bluetooth keyboard, and it's not working, just flip over to this one's set up the same way, kind of. Just flip over to the back side. I don't know if you can see it, and there'd be a switch. Just flick that switch, and it should connect because they're paired to one specific machine. It should just connect automatically. And this guy next to me, he picks up his wired keyboard plugged directly into the machine, and he's looking at the back like, I don't see the switch. And he looked at this for no joke 2 solid minutes, and then he eventually just put it down and shrugged his shoulders. What? What? Am I smart, or is everyone else stupid? That's my question I ask constantly. Is I feel like there's gotta be.
Now imagine if we did have a Bluetooth, he'd be like, what the fuck?
There's no wires here. How's it working? How's it work? I type on here and it types on there. There's no wire. How does that work?
Oh my god.
There was also a big lecture on the difference between a computer and a monitor.
Oh my god, yeah, actually, the amount of people I know who I say that to, and they don't realize they're two different things. When I first met him, I don't think Lexi's dad really knew the difference.
It was... Well, I mean, maybe that's excusable a little bit if you're older and don't work with computers. But if you're in your, between 18 and 22, and you work with computers every day, you should know. If you work with computers every day, period, you should know.
Yeah.
You should know the difference.
Well, clearly that's our computer right there, right? The thing with the
Yeah,
the screen.
yeah. That's the computer. That's the monitor down there. So
That's the power supply.
basically, he has this, and he goes, okay, some people have their monitor connected via Thunderbolt, there's mini display port. If it's connected there, unplug it, wait for the monitor to turn black, plug it back in, and wait for it to come back. And some people have HDMI. There's one little HDMI port that's below it. Can't miss it. Just unplug it, plug it
Probably
back
one
in.
of the only two cables on the back of the monitor.
Yeah.
You know, power and display.
Well, this is the back of the machine, so there's
Oh, okay.
there's
so
like 3 cables.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. I can
There's
see why.
power, there's display,
And then
there's
maybe
the
a keyboard.
and the mouse. Oof.
Dude, honestly, you lost me. Like, no idea.
My and we're actually also required to have an external hard drive to keep all our footage on, which is actually, it makes a lot of fucking sense, because I can't, if I want to work on my projects right now, I can't go to those computers and use them.
Yeah.
I can't get in. No one's there to let me in.
Yeah. Not to mention you'd have to drive all the way there.
Yeah. So why would I do that when I can use one of the insanely powerful computers I have here? Yeah. So if I have all the footage and project files, and I had explained to my professor that I'm using a PC at home. I don't have a Mac. And he was explaining, oh, actually just come back during office hours or like during open lab time, and I'll just show you what to do with the hard drive. And he was basically like, he kind of explained it very briefly. It was like, you want to go into disk utility, and you want to make 2 partitions, one for your PC and one for the Mac here. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, okay. He's like, yeah, just come back either early next time or come back during office hours or open lab time, and I'll help you out. I said, all right, bet. Completely forgot. Got to class next time, did it anyway while he was talking, and then I explained to him what I did. So I just want to make sure that, like, he knows that I'm competent. Like, I know
beyond competent.
I know what I'm doing. I said, yeah, I got 2 terabytes. It's formatted. One side's APFS and one side's exFAT. exFAT will talk to both my PC and the Mac, so I can transfer and mirror files between. If I really wanted to get fancy, I suppose I could have set it up to automatically mirror, but yeah, I'm not doing all that.
No, yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I wouldn't even say you're competent. You're beyond competent when it comes to that shit, anyway.
And
I mean, you're not going with.
And he had also an intake survey of like, do you have a computer at home? Can you edit on this computer? What kind of computer do you have? Do you know the information about this computer? And I said, boy, do I. I have so many computers. You got no
which
idea.
One? Here's a 2080 Super, bitch.
I said, that's what I said. I was like, what brand of computer do you have? I just put, I built it. And then the next one's like more information. I have a 12-core Ryzen 9 3900X. I have 64 gigs of RAM. I have a 2080 Super. So I feel like
I thought that might be enough to make like a couple short videos or something, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Premiere is a little more demanding. I am using Premiere on this computer, which is slightly lower spec. It's got a GTX 1080 and fucking 32 gigs of RAM, and it's only got 6 cores. So, basically, I'm in a class with a bunch of dum-dums, I think.
Bunch of silly gooses.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is what it is. all my other classes kind of suck or are boring.
Yeah.
So there's nothing interesting to talk about with those.
Rip. Yeah, my favorite part is when yesterday our boss asked Alex, like, "Hey, you gonna be on the podcast this week?" And Alex just goes, "No, I have nothing to talk about." I was like, "Oh shit, Alex, damn."
Alex and I are actually in a class together.
Oh really?
We have a class, and it's so goddamn boring. So.
Are all your classes in person now? No online?
I have one online class. But they did an online class because the other section that was in person filled up, and the professor that teaches it was only available to do another section online, and the only way it fit with my schedule is to do the online course. So
that makes sense.
It really sucks.
Right.
And I could tell the professor, well, no, it's not that I can tell. He said that he hates it, like teaching online. So, you know, he even asked like the class, like, "Hey, how do you guys want to even take an online class again?" And no one wants to.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why are you guys here? Well, this is how it fucking works, guy. I got a job, bro. I got other places to be other than here.
Yeah. What do you mean, why am I here? It's a class I'm forced to take.
I have to take this class. I gotta graduate somehow. That's such a professor question of like, why are you here? Why are you taking this class? I fucking have to. I have to. What kind of question is that?
Yeah. Why are you in college?
And they make a lot of assumptions that people don't. A lot of them make the assumption that people don't have jobs outside of. Like, I put in the hours, man. I got other shit to do.
Yeah. Is your schedule still fucked up where you have to do an extra semester or no?
Yeah, it is. So
you have to do one extra semester?
Yeah, I have to do a summer semester. So basically how it works is, I was doing an internship, right? So basically how it works is, I'm going to finish all of my classes at the same time everyone else does. But I'm just not going to get my degree for like an additional 2 months.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You had told me that because you just have to do that internship.
Because I just have to do an internship. There's like a couple extra things I have to do for it. So, you know. What I did hear, though, I have to look into it a little more. What I did hear is that if you're doing an internship, the semester can be fully comped by either the university or like federal aid or something. So I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
See what I can do there.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I did want to bring something up that I referenced when we were talking about the fucking ailments we were both facing, where I mentioned a shake.
Oh yeah. You're.
And I'll keep this brief because me and Chris have definitely talked about this in great detail at work. But our boss, who I go to the gym with, I have a hard time getting calories in. Like, I've tried to eat, and then I try to eat again, and I'm like, I just can't eat. Like, I can't force myself to eat anymore. So I'm like, how can I get calories? So we were talking. He's like, made shakes and stuff. And I've always told him, like, the one meal I always skip because it makes me, like, queasy in the morning is breakfast. So I've been trying to supplement it with certain things and, like, get calories in that way. So the most recent attempt was, he said to me, you need to make a shake using protein powder, whole milk, not skim milk because you want the fat and the calories and stuff, and peanut butter. And I was like, cool. I would love that.
I have those things.
So I make a shake, and I had some bananas that were expiring. He said 1 banana, they're high in calories. I was like, fuck it, I'm doing 2 because I had bananas that were expiring. Threw in 2.
Too many banana.
2 scoops of protein powder, that is. The 1 cup of whole milk, and then I put what am I missing? I feel like I'm missing. Oh, and a cup of yogurt. Put that in there. I'm like, all right, cool. Got this jar of peanut butter. It's like a yay big jar. Like, what would you say? What is that? Like a 20-ounce jar?
Oh, just a normal size, a standard issue.
Standard issue.
Not like the jumbo, the big ass ones. Just a standard jar.
Standard issue, like a normal ass Heinz mayonnaise jar size, like that. And I'm like, cool. I look at it. It's crunchy peanut butter. I'm like, hell yeah, it's probably even better. Open it up. Oh, there's only a little bit left in the bottom. And he had said to me, 1 heaping spoonful. So he weighs all this shit out because he's more on the downward trend. He wants to lose weight, and I need to gain weight, or at least intake more to offset that. So I'm like, all right, 1 big spoonful in. And I'm like, I did put 2 bananas. Let me throw in a second spoonful. I throw in a second big-ass spoonful, and I'm like, yeah, that looks good. I go to put the lid in the jar, and I'm like, oh, I can see the bottom of the jar. So it's empty. Like, it's almost empty. Let me add the rest. So I tip this jar over, and I scrape out the sides, and then this big-ass mound just comes out. All in all, I put about half a jar of peanut butter in this thing. More like a upper third, we'll say. So I put half a jar in this thing, and I'm like, well, there's no going back. And I was thinking about adding whole milk. I was like, I'm gonna add whole milk, but like, our boss had mentioned like whole milk makes it thicker because it's whole milk. I was like, let me not do that. And I didn't want to add water. I was like, fuck it, blend. And I blended it, and the consistency was great. Like, I was like, this is perfect consistency. It's fantastic. And I took a sip, and it was like this giant peanut just walked up to me and punched me in the mouth, dude. Just fucking the Planters mascot just fucking laid me out.
Planters peanut guy.
I was like knocked back.
Just smacked the shit out of you, bro.
Dude, I got knocked back into the ethereal realm. I was like, what the fuck?
You ascended to like the 6th dimension.
So then I was trying to explain to my boss how I'm like, no, I don't mind that there's that much peanut butter. Like, it's good for the calories and the protein for me. And I said something where he looked at me, and he's like, he'll never tell you that you suck. Like, he's a very nice guy. But, like, I could just tell from the look on his face, he was both incredibly disappointed with me in that moment. And also, he just kind of was like, how did we get here? Like, what could I have done differently to get this kid out of my life? Because I said to him, I go, yeah, I think next time I make it, the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to add something else to it because the peanut butter was a little overpowering. And he's typing on his MacBook, and he just stops. And he looks at me, he goes, just put less peanut butter. And I was like, I just kind of looked at him, and I just went, no.
Yeah.
And he was not happy.
He was definitely like disappointed dad.
Yeah, like it was.
He's like, my son, you failed me.
Like, usually I'd be like, yeah, I could have. But no, I turned around, I stalked back to my desk, and I just sat down, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I failed.
Yeah. I feel like everyone had this exact sentiment of like, man, I feel like, I think I verbalized this in this exact way. I feel like I expected more from you, Jordan. I feel like you're a pretty smart guy. I think that's a bottom of the barrel move there.
Bottom of the peanut butter jar, yeah.
That's a bottom of the jar move right there.
So, needless to say, I made the shake. It's actually it's pretty fucking good, but it is definitely too peanut buttery, like the taste anyway.
Yeah, didn't you say another coworker was telling you to go drink your glue?
Oh yeah, fucking the new coworker, the new guy at work I'm training. He's not new. I've known him for years, but he's new to this job, this role. I'm training him. And I explained in the morning what it was, and he just looked at me, he goes, and he gads at everything. Like, a piece of steak touches his lips, and he's like, ugh. He just can't eat.
You said, one time that he got a small piece of an onion in his
From
McDonald's
McDonald's,
burger, and he legitimately threw up.
Yeah. So, like the little tiny diced onions, those little chiclet guys? Yeah, he got one of those, and he threw up. But, I told him what was in it, and he just looked at me, and he went, ugh, and he walked away. And he was like, that sounds fucking gross, dude. And then he saw me drinking it, and I was like, I had it just tipped upside down, and it was just slowly coming out. And he just
like wood glue.
Dude, he just looks at me, and he goes, dude, it's not even moving. He's like, it won't even move. Gravity can't it's defying gravity at the moment.
Viscosity is too much.
And then, yeah, he just kept like coming over and making small comments. And one of them was like, I said something to him, and he was just like, why don't you just fucking chug your glue over there?
Drink your glue, idiot.
Actually, the consistency wasn't that bad, okay?
So,
the outside definitely like congealed though, and it was all stuck to the inside of the cup.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah, this story was a great way to round off our Friday at work.
Yeah, we had a meeting.
We had a meeting that was supposed to be an hour, ended up taking 2, because we did like the stuff we were supposed to, and then we just bullshitted for like an hour and a half. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Workplace inefficiency, workplace incompetency.
Well, we did get a lot done, and then the peanut butter story came up, and no one could recover. Like that. What had happened was we were so on topic, and then one of the other workers that we're all friends with showed up to leave, and then this peanut butter story came up. And then he stayed for literally like another 40 minutes, and I was just, it was basically just like the berate Jordan hour.
Yeah, sometimes
So
in life, You just got to get, berated a little
just
bit.
got to get berated. But
And hopefully it's by people that you like and it's in a friendly sort of manner.
Could you imagine? You guys are like making fun of me, and I just like get up and I start swinging and I was punching everyone.
And it's just you're like a dog that peed on the couch. You're just looking like this, and just everyone's like, "Fuck you, Jordan! You should kill yourself." This incident right now, and you're just like this.
And I think honestly, this story, like this peanut butter story, came up in this meeting. I think after this meeting is when I got the Big Mac, which I think is why Alex referred to me as a whore.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did call Jordan a whore when he was gathering up all this extra McDonald's to give to Jordan.
So, needless to say, this is actually the fattest I felt in my life. Like, I actually feel like I somehow gained weight overnight. Don't know why.
Well, I'll put it to you this way, right? You had that McDonald's, and that was leftover from Alex. He got it's called like the classic pack or the Big Mac pack or some shit. It's $20 or like $22. It has 2 Big Macs, 20 nuggets, and 2 medium fries. And he had a large Sprite with it.
Jesus.
Guy, he's a small guy, but man, he can eat.
Yeah, he can.
He can eat an absurd amount.
Yeah, he really fucking can. God damn.
So.
But, yeah, the only other really interesting thing, well, not really interesting, but the only other thing that was actually somewhat interesting that happened is I did get my car back.
Oh, yeah, it's looking pretty mint.
Yeah, I did finally get my car back with the new bumper. And it was really fun to have. I've had everyone guess the totals. So, for the audience, think in your head, right? 2009 Chevy Cobalt. Bumper gets hit on the back right-hand corner. If you're looking at it from the back, it's the right-hand side. It twists slightly to the right, so some of the mounts are damaged, right? New bumper. The mounts were fixed. I don't know if they replaced them or if they can kind of bend them back into place or whatever. And then obviously labor for painting and things like that, and then the part. What do you think that would cost? Take a second. Just take a moment. Think of what that might cost. What did you say when you guessed?
I think I said like $1,200 or something.
Yeah. It was like 12 or 1,300. You'd said. The total was $3,984. It's like $4,000.
Paid for by the insurance company.
Yeah.
All right, there you go then.
Yeah.
So the cost to Jordan was $0.
I was actually 52 because
50 and a lot of pain.
Because there was a betterment charge from the insurance company. Their argument to me was, well, your bumper was scratched before the lady fucking slammed into you, so like you're making out here.
Yeah, you're making out pretty good. So we're gonna charge you $52.
Yeah, so they charged me $52.
All in all, that's not bad.
I was supposed to call the insurance to fight it, but I was like, honestly, this is gonna take like 2.5 hours. I'd rather just not.
That's the thing. It's like I don't fucking care. Okay, I'll just give you the money. I don't give a shit. Okay, just so I can be done with this.
Yeah, so I showed up to get the car. I paid $52. I had the car. It's all set.
Yeah, that is some bullshit from the insurance, but like, yeah.
If it was more like if they're like $250, okay, yeah, I would have been right up their ass. But like $52, I was like, this isn't worth my time.
Yeah, it's like, in the amount of time it's gonna take me to fight this, which I'm gonna have to call during like work hours anyway, I could just work and make like the same amount of money.
Yeah, and like the problem is too, like I was gonna have to be like Kratos in the newest God of War, where he has to go back and get the Chaos Blades, and he's like, I'm reliving my history.
You're gonna have to do that with the insurance company.
I was gonna have to do it with the insurance company, where I was gonna have to do something I swore off. I was gonna have to scream at a customer service rep who doesn't really care. I was gonna have to, because they're gonna be like, well, and I'm gonna have to, be the asshole in the situation. So.
I've only had to do that once. I've only had to do that once. Was with Vroom. Right, they outsource like all their customer incoming calls to like some call center in like in India. It has to be because they all sound like they're from India. Yeah. So I'm not trying to stereotype. I'm just making an observation. And I'm like, man, I really don't want to have to do this, but like I need to talk to someone who can actually help me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to speak to someone, whoever's putting together this deal. I need to speak to them, and I don't need to speak to you right now. If you could put me through to them, that would be great. And they wouldn't fucking do it. So,
yeah. Yeah, for me, it was going to have to be like, I had a money move lined up where I was like, what if I play the naive one in the situation where I'm like, hey, I just went to pick up my car and they're telling me I can't pick it up because I have a $52 balance. This is unacceptable. I just handed in my rental. Give me the money. Blah blah blah. I could have done that, but I was like, I'm gonna call some nice guy at this insurance company who's like, hey man, happy Monday, because I picked it up on a Monday, and I'm gonna be like, listen here, bitch. Where's my $52.47, you fucking asshole?
Where's my $52? Do you know how?
You know how many Newports I could buy for that? You fucking bitch.
Oh man.
So I was just like, you know what? I don't care. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got my car back. It's so much fucking nicer than that rental having my goddamn Android Auto. I'll take crank windows and manual locks over that bitch any day. And there's this other cool thing that
Android
car does.
Auto goes pretty hard.
Yeah, there's this other cool thing that the Nissan did that my car doesn't do, so it's fantastic that my car doesn't do it. Is like, generally speaking, you're slowing to a light in the distance. You gently apply the brake. Maybe you like kind of get it to slow down, then you take it off and you let yourself engine brake a little, things like that. But the Nissan would kind of be like, okay, I want to tap the brake just to, ease into it, let us start to slow down. And I'd take my foot off the brake, and for some god-awful reason, the Nissan would just be like, wait, did he just hit the brake? Oh, shit, he hit the brake! And it would just stop itself. It would just stop in the middle of the fucking road. It was fantastic. It was great.
That's bizarre.
It happened, it took me so long. I say so long. It took me like a day of actually driving the car to get used to that, because I would always get ready to stop at like the stop sign leaving our work, and I'd stop like 40 feet back because I'd get ready to hit the brake and I'd tap it and then I'd let it go, and then the car would just stop itself and I'd be like, keep going. Like,
that's so weird.
And I thought I was tripping, dude. I thought I was tripping. And then one day I did it on purpose outside our work because it's an industrial park. There's like no one there. I let it stop itself, and then I just sat there. I was like, what's it going to do? And all of a sudden, I felt it go and click into drive and go and start going on its own, like the torque converter keeping it rolling. So it literally stopped itself and then just went into gear and went.
That's so weird.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It's, my car actually does like something kind of annoying that's not really similar, but it just reminds me of that, where because it's a new car, it has, it doesn't have a manual throttle body.
Mm.
And if you've ever driven a vehicle with a manual throttle body and a manual transmission, like my dad's truck,
mm-hmm.
when you downshift and you get off the throttle, you're slowing down. Like, and it's a bigger engine too in that truck, so
Heavier.
That probably helps. But it doesn't punish you. It doesn't have the throttle snap close on you.
Yeah.
And so you can't engine brake nearly as well as you can in
yeah.
even other like drive-by-wire manual cars that I've had. Is like you just can't engine brake as well. It's annoying. I want you to punish me. I want you to snap that throttle closed, baby.
You know what, dude? Fucking seal it. Put some caulking around it. No, it's done.
No air gets in there.
It's done, dude.
I want my
airflow.
engine to stall every time I get off the throttle.
Yeah. But
yeah, it is annoying. So like if I'm downshifting to like try to keep either a constant speed or like so I don't have to ride my brakes down a hill, it works, but it's like, oh, you were going 40, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep your engine RPM at like 3,800, and we're going to keep you at 40 miles an hour instead of like letting the compression of the engine slow you down.
Yeah.
It's foolishness.
Yeah. But I missed my car. It's so much fucking better than that the Nissan. Although having 4 doors for a while was cool. That was definitely cool. It's convenient. So but yeah, I've always said like I prefer coupes for this, like the look. Like I'd rather have a nice car that's a coupe, like a Miata or like a Mustang. But for like a daily driver, yeah, 4 doors definitely obviously better. Especially if you have a family kind of thing. But
yeah.
Yeah, it was it's good though. I got it fucking back. It's looking good. They cleaned it. It was awesome. They fucking cleaned it. Because they had to paint it. They can't really paint over the dirt. So they cleaned it completely. That shit was sparkly.
Just right over the
dirt.
Right
over it. It was sparkly when I got it, but where I park, it's just covered in shit now. So like, and I mean like literal fecal matter, not like debris, but like shit.
Not bird shit either, human shit.
No, it's my fucking second floor neighbor. I don't know what his problem is, dude.
He doesn't even go and do it on the car. He goes to the window every morning and he throws a handful out onto Jordan's car.
He's got like a fucking blowpipe. He's like, Then fucking turd right in the window, just the whole way down. Yeah, but yeah, I got that puppy back, so it's cool. If I went to put a backup camera in it. I bought a backup camera because I was like, wow, the Nissan made me realize that, like, for street parking, it's
backup
excellent.
cameras are really nice.
For, like, where I park on the street, like, I've always been against backup cameras. I've always been like, if you need it, you're a bitch. And then I got it, and I was like, you know, for parallel parking, this is fantastic.
Well, see, that's the thing, is it's like, you think that way until you get one. You're
Yeah.
absolutely correct. Like, I never had one, and then my Hyundai had one, and I was like, man, this is really nice.
Yeah. So I went to put one in my car, and I was like, all right. I looked at it, and I was like, oh, fuck. If I want to mount this, I have to drill through the new bumper they just put on. So I just returned it. I was like, I'm not going to be doing this. I don't want to drill through it, so it's fucking annoying. But, yeah, so it, oh, you know what? They do make backup cameras. So where my license plate light is, it's totally exposed. You can go in with the wires and snake it through the chassis of the car. I think I've seen backup cameras that use the mount holes of your license plate. I should mount it to the bottom of the license plate. Just thought of that. I think I'm going to do that. Although I'm still not a fan of having to cut my fucking reverse lights. So.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
But whatever. But yeah, that's all she wrote.
Yeah, so we're done here for this episode.
I'm gonna wire the backup camera into my brake light, so every time I hit the brake, it's like, we're backing up, baby. My radio's gonna fucking spaz.
Yeah, wire it all in so that, like, every time you hit the brakes, it triggers that signal and it jams your transmission into reverse too.
Yeah, there you go. Or better yet, every time I hit the brake, I'll actually send power to the airbags. Sounds like a
There you go.
pretty good idea. Actually, I did do some work on Let's See steering column, and I took the airbag out, and I was fucking, dude. You know that meme of, is it, not Jordan Peele, it's the other one. What's his name?
Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh, no, so it is Jordan Peele then. Yeah, that's the tall one. The meme of him, like, sweating.
Yeah.
That was me removing the airbag on this car, dude. Like, I let it discharge, and I'm like, I'm looking like a fucking chihuahua trying to pull this thing out, dude. I'm like, please don't blow up my face.
It is a literal bomb that you're removing from the car.
I'm like, I pulled it right off the steering wheel, and I'm like, please don't blow up, please don't blow up, please don't blow up. And I put it to the side, and I'm like, I put it down gently. I'm like,
I saw a video of some guys, they put it face down, and then they put power to it, like, on purpose, and it goes into the atmosphere.
Yeah,
it becomes like a spaceship.
Have you seen the ones where people put it under, like, someone's chair, and they sit on it, and it goes off? Dude, that shit jams your spine. You see these people in the video, and their body goes up, and their head stays in place, and they just go, and they, like, break their neck, dude.
Like, permanent paralysis.
It's so bad. But yeah, it was literally like a bomb defusal. It's funny you mentioned that. It is like a bomb. I was literally like trying to fucking do this, dude. And all I was doing was replacing the cruise control fucking assembly. I was like, put the airbag down. I'm like, take the fucking cruise control knob out.
You're in one of those big bomb defusal suits. You're just okay.
Oh man,
taking these little components out.
What would have been great is I'm like, all right, I'm good. I put the airbag back, tighten it. I'm like, I lean on the steering wheel and boom. All right, but yeah, we're done. Find us, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed. Put it in wherever you want. And as always, contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me, comments, questions, concerns, and death threats. We're also on Instagram and TikTok. And we also have a video version of this show on YouTube and Spotify. And eventually I may get access to our Instagram again, or I might not. Our most recent TikTok did pretty good. So that was cool.
So
gotta post this week's TikTok. This one I think will do really good because it's the one where we're totally drunk.
So. Well, see you guys next week.
See you guys next week in approximately 4 minutes. So see ya. We don't want to be ya because you're a bitch.